Rihanna did that dance.
I didn't make up that dance. I hope you guys know that. Like that dance has been
You
around.
made up that dance. That's all I know.
Man.
It's called the hugs for a reason.
It used to be like I used to make fun of people. It's like this is what you guys used to do back in the day, right? That dance was in. Actually, it was in. They did it in. I think I first seen it in the Bad Boys movie. I don't remember if it was 1 or 2. It might have been the second one.
Oh, I don't know.
It was a part where they were dancing, and like I think it's the part in Bad Boys 2 when they're destroying the guy's shop. I don't know if you remember the movie.
Yeah, I don't. I've been wanting to rewatch them.
And they were kind of like dancing, and then Whitney started going like this. That's
that's
where I got it from.
I remember that.
That's where I got it from. That's where I first saw it.
Yeah, I've been wanting to rewatch those movies.
It's on Netflix. Well, the second one is. For the longest time, I didn't see the first one. Like I seen the second one first, and then I went back and saw the first one after.
Well, we're here for episode 1 of our TV discussion.
Which my lighting is terrible. Got this weak light.
Yeah, you gotta get a light behind the laptop so it illuminates your face.
Yeah, but I don't know if it'll be better if I go inside. Probably. But we already started recording, so whatever. Just don't watch. Just listen.
Just listen. Just minimize. It works out the same. We're not gonna be showing visuals.
But yeah.
And so today's discussion, Jessica Jones. This is a spoiler-full discussion, so be warned. We will be talking about how Jessica Jones dies. Is that a different show?
I think it's a very different show.
Oh, I'm thinking Breaking Bad.
Everyone dies in that show.
Baby girl.
But
yeah. So, how do you want to start this?
How do you want to do this?
I roll a 20, and then
double damage. That's a totally different podcast. This is why we have no views.
Listen, this is why it's called unprofessional. This is how we function.
Oh man. Yeah. So I guess we just. I don't know if you want to break it down in categories. Talk about the plot. Talk about the characters.
Okay.
Talk about. I was gonna say the story, but I was like, I already said plot. So.
The people who are part of the plot. No, that's characters. Yeah.
Talk about directors. But yeah, so I don't know if you want to break it down like that, or if you just want to talk.
I mean, yeah, we're going to go off the hinges very quickly.
Yeah.
Like one discussion will lead to another, and then we'll finish this within an hour and forget a huge topic. Yeah,
we end up talking about Daredevil, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But so yeah.
So let's just start off with the basic. What'd you think of it?
I thought it was good. It was definitely dealt with some serious themes that you don't see on TV a lot. Well, you probably see on TV, but it's probably like on like HBO and stuff like that. Like that, those serious or Lifetime.
Like the SVU.
This is like a serious Lifetime movie.
Yeah, Law and Order SVU situation.
I don't watch Law and Order, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't watch either, but I just know that like the SVU is the hardcore scenarios where like it involves a lot of rape and kidnaps and shit like that.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was good. I mean,
yeah,
it was, like I said, definitely a lot darker.
Yeah, it was much darker than Daredevil, because Daredevil was dark, but it was also much more violent and aggressive. So it's about the fighting, where this one was just like the story told was about a guy who has powers and just abuses them as much as he can.
Yeah. Pretty much, he has the power to make people do whatever he wants. So he made people do whatever he wants.
Yeah, just by talking to him.
He literally used his power in the like I guess in the most effective. Like if you're gonna be a bad guy and you have this power, you're gonna use it however the fuck you want to use it. Like it's not like he used it to make people rob banks and stuff like that. He just used it like, I want you to do this, and the person did it.
Yeah, I mean, and they explained it also that he doesn't understand that what he's doing is completely wrong. He like that's how he justifies is it like there's later on in the series when Jessica takes Kilgrave to the hostage situation, and he saves the mom and the kids, and then he tells the guy like, all right, now put the gun in, now put the barrel in your mouth, and then she's like, no, don't do that, stop it, make him go outside and surrender, and he's like, I honestly thought that the right thing to do was to make him kill himself. Like that's just a sign of like a deranged guy.
See, and that's all right. So that goes into like one of my problems. Not with just a lot of shows do this, but one of my big problems is when you have like they introduce this villain who's obviously like an insane guy who like no matter what he does, it's like you're always going to think of him as a bad person. Yeah. But then they try to explain his backstory and then try to make you feel sorry for him. Oh, he was raised like this, so you have to feel bad. It's like, no, I'm not gonna feel bad for him. Even
I didn't
where like
that. I had
where
no
they showed
sympathy
him
for
like
him.
being experimented on. I was like, I don't feel bad for this guy.
Yeah.
You already introduced him as like this psychotic guy, and then now you want me to feel sorry. It's like a lot. The thing is, it's not just this show. A lot of shows do it. Like they'll introduce him. Like and they do it in comics too. They do it in comics a lot. And
I guess
we got
it's just
baby crying in the background. Great.
Yeah.
I might have to go inside for real now.
It's time for you to go and Kilgrave on them. Hey, shut the fuck up.
They shut up forever.
But that's one thing that they got to do, I think, because the only way that these people are going to become villains is if they have some kind of tragic event happen in their lives.
Nah, it's just
you just have show it to us, but I don't know if they really expect us to feel sympathy for them.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, 9 out of 10 times, I don't think anybody does feel sympathy for him. Like, oh, he was experimented on as a kid. It's like, well, that doesn't justify why he became this fucking serial rapist who just commands people to do what he wants.
How's the lighting here? Good?
Good.
Good? All right.
Yeah.
Hold on. Keep talking.
Look at that bed. That's where all the magic happens. So on top of all, Kilgrave is not justified in what he does. I mean, just because he was abused like that, still could have run away or learned. I mean, there's 1,000 things, but he's just a deranged kid that grew up into a crazy guy that wears purple. But still a great villain. The way he uses his powers and shit, pretty solid.
Yeah. But one thing that they did change from the comics is that, well, at least because before I started watching the show, I watched like a quick 5-minute video explaining like her backstory, just so I could go into the show with some type of idea.
Yeah.
And so they said that in the comic that what was I gonna say?
Something about the change.
They said that in the comic he never raped her. According to that video, like what he did was he made her like he still made like it was like what did he say? I think he said like he made her watch as he raped other people.
Jesus.
But he never like raped her himself. So either way, it's still fucked up. But I guess that's one thing they changed for the show to make it more edgy.
I guess in that sense, it's just to show how his obsession for her.
Yeah.
As opposed to just more of a sadistic side, just to be like, this guy is just crazy, but he's also crazy about her for some reason, which we learned that it's because she doesn't obey him.
She doesn't obey him.
I mean, that's the thing.
I thought it was because of her power.
It was her power in the beginning, but then once she walked away from him after killing the lady,
Yeah.
That's when his obsession really began because he wanted something that he couldn't have.
Just like all men.
Right. Fucking
Like I said, I don't know. I just felt like saying that. But so yeah, like I guess that's one change that they made, but yeah, this guy. The thing is, I was reading, they were interviewing like the producer or whatever those people, and they were saying that originally when they were gonna have the show on ABC, when it originally got pitched to ABC, that her best friend character was originally gonna be Carol Danvers, who's Ms. Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess because now that's in the Marvel universe, and they got the movies and stuff planned, that they had to change that to have her be Patsy Walker.
Yeah, she's a superhero also, right? I just can't remember her name now.
Hellcat.
Yeah. And yeah, at first I thought I'm like, she's just gonna be like this useless chick who learns how to fight and then just gets her ass whooped a lot, which kind of happened in the beginning. Like I thought she was gonna take down the cop when he went to go beat on her, because like Kilgrave sent the cop guy to kill her.
Okay, yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, she's gonna beat the shit out of this guy.
Nope. Yeah, but he's way more trained because he was like
because he's special ops.
Special ops. There you go.
Like he's a villain in the comics, Nuke.
Yeah,
like he goes against Captain America.
It's funny because the way how they present him, he kind of looks like
he reminded me of Troy Baker a lot, like appearance wise.
I didn't get that. I think they made him look like the way how his hair was made and like the way how he dressed. He kind of looked like how they make Steve Rogers look in the movies, like when he's in the civilian wear. And then when they gave him like when he started taking the pills with and he started getting like superpowers and stuff, I was like, what are they trying to do with this guy? I didn't know he was a character in the comics until after.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, same here. I didn't know either, but because I was wondering why, like what the deal with this guy was, but
I feel like that romance was weird though.
Yeah, it was.
Like I feel like tried to kill you, and then now you're having sex with him.
It's one of those things that, like, a lot of TV shows are doing that these days because all these TV shows are so dramatic that, like, some weird thing happens between two people. It's like, oh, I tried to kill you, but now we're dating, or like, I killed your husband, but now we're dating. And it's like, because it's the same thing. Like Jessica Jones, she's like, she killed Luke Cage's wife, but now we're dating. So, like, we care for each other. I'm like, that's weird as fuck, people. So how'd you meet? It's a funny story. Well, I killed his wife about a year ago, and then I just decided to stalk him for a while, and then we know
for a long time,
and then we broke his bed.
That seems funny.
I thought she sometimes came off as too unlikable. Like, I understand that she went through some shit, and then she was already a very.
Who are you talking about?
Jessica.
Okay.
That's why you gotta say her name though. Jessica Jones.
You gotta say the whole thing.
Jessica Jones. But I always thought that, like, the flashbacks, you see that she grew up with Patsy, or whatever her real name is.
Patsy.
Was it Patsy? Her real name?
Isn't it?
I don't think so. I think Patsy Walker is the character that she used to play when she was a kid.
I think that's her real name.
Okay. No, Trish.
There you go.
Trish is her real name.
Yeah.
Don't know how that came out. But, like, understand that she grew up, like, no parents blaming for the accident, which that Game Boy broke way too easily, but that's a whole different story.
My thing is, all right, speaking of Game Boy, what year was that supposed to take place? Was that like 10 years ago? Because the Game Boy was...
Yeah, I guess. I mean, hey, the kid was an old school player. Because I don't know how old she is. She's 30s, I would say. So maybe 20 years ago?
No, there's no way. She's Daredevil's age.
What is she in real life?
There's no way she's in her 30s. Which kind of confused me because when the first couple episodes, they were like, oh, Trish adopted her. And I'm just like, well, how old is Trish supposed to be? Because there's no way that she's older than, because Trish and Jessica are definitely the same age. But when they were saying that she adopted her, but then later on they explained.
Yeah, I think
they explained it. But like, because I was trying to figure out how old is she? What character is she? I don't know.
I just imagine like this little 14-year-old girl at the adoption agency is like, I want to take this one.
Yeah, but later on they explained that
right,
the whole thing.
But like I understand that like she grew up with like a hard life, I guess. Living, because I can't imagine living with that woman was anything easy. And then she had all of a sudden these powers and shit. But so at a certain point, she was just like a random chick who did what she wanted. But then after the whole Kilgrave thing, she became an alcoholic, which in itself is just like something new to see with the superheroes that we have. Because not even Tony Stark was an alcoholic in the movies, was he? Like he just drank his whiskey. Like we would see him with a whiskey when he was driving around and shit, but he wasn't an alcoholic, I don't think.
But the thing is, she never gets drunk though because of her powers. Like there's never a scene of her, but there was one scene of her. I guess she had way too much, but when she's like casually drinking like that, they never show her like stumbling and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I think she's
I think because of her powers, she can't get drunk.
Drinking. She can because we saw her get drunk. It's just she is an alcoholic. She's just a functional alcoholic, is what you would say. We would call her, I guess. Yeah. But like she does become sometimes pretty unbearable. Well, which is like, I guess I think like she's a bit more anti-hero than hero.
Yeah, she's not even really a hero.
Yeah, because even at the end, when people are asking for her help, she just gives no fucks. It's her buddy that steps in.
She never became a hero. In the comics, she was hero for a little bit until Kilgrave got to her, and that's what made her stop being one. But in this, it was like her friend Trisha was like, "Oh, you should." Even like the costume that they showed was like the exact costume from the comic. Yeah. She's like, "I'm not gonna be wearing that."
Yeah, I don't blame her.
But so she never really became a hero. She just continued doing her thing. She doesn't even care if she uses her powers in public.
Which I think is cool. Like in was it the first episode where she's following that douchebag club owner to give him the subpoena, and then she just lifts up his car?
Yeah, it was like the first or second episode.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna shoot laser out of my eyes and melt you with it or whatever.
But yeah, I mean, for her personality to be that way, I mean, I can't really say anything about it because I never been through something like that. So
I mean, you would assume it's justifiable, but it does. After a while, it just gets to you. It's like, all right, dude, we get it. All right, you're fucking. Let's take it back. Cut to some other character for a little bit. Let me see some Luke Cage.
What do you think about the guy that got Luke Cage?
I like him. I really like him as a character. Like he looks like the kind of guy that would live in Hell's Kitchen and do what Luke Cage does. Like he's got that
better
look.
Than the other people they wanted to cast that the fans wanted.
I don't even know who that was. Don't tell me.
Remember they were like Terry Crews.
I knew it.
And The Rock. Well, I mean, everyone likes The Rock, but I just don't see him as that character.
Yeah, the thing I've realized is that with comic book characters and heroes that we read, in the comics they're drawn so big and like muscular and like superhuman. Even those that are not, like Batman. Like Batman is a crazy, insane person, but then you see him in TV shows, and then you realize it's like the human body doesn't grow that big on everybody. So like they gotta cast somebody.
Is not supposed to. Like I remember when they were talking about, like it was a couple years ago. This is kind of a side thing, but since we're talking about actors, they were talking about doing like a Gears of War movie. There's nobody on planet Earth that looks like that.
You're just gonna get like these strong characters with a ton of armor on them because like nobody is built that top heavy. So it's like, but like this guy it just fits. Like he's that level-headed guy who just runs a bar. I love that the scene where he like the lady who he was sleeping with, her husband and rugby friends. Those guys did not look like rugby players.
Wow. I wouldn't know how rugby players look.
Rugby players look like the guys we're talking about. They are 6 feet tall. Each one of their legs is as thick as we are completely.
Maybe that's the New York style.
Yeah, but like you look at New Zealand and we're like the European rugby players, those guys are fucking beasts. But like when they attack him at the thing, and he's like, first of all, I thought that was an insane brawl because a guy went straight for his neck with a knife. I'm like, who does that?
They just wanted to show off that he had his powers.
Yeah.
Pretty much why they had that scene.
I was hoping that at some point somebody would be like, what are you, man? Some kind of power man? And just, well, we'll probably see that in his show. Just like somebody needs to groan or a cough. Just,
like in the Spider-Man cartoon.
yes.
Power man.
Something ridiculous.
Man. I just hope to God they don't have him in like his original costume. The tiara and the yellow shirt. It's like,
does he have the gold chain?
Yeah, like super stereotypical. Well, I don't know about the tiara. I don't know why they gave him that. Like, who wore that back then?
But it'll be funny. Like he's got the same scene where he's sitting in his apartment and his best buddy's like holding up. He's like, "All right, you're gonna wear this tiara and this outfit." And he's like, "Nah."
Yeah, I can't wait to see because obviously his show is gonna take place. Well, maybe not because they can just do flashbacks to showing him in prison being experimented on.
I mean, what I like that they did with Jessica Jones is that this wasn't a origin story. Like you just jump in.
Yeah, that's how they need to do every movie.
Yeah, Spider-Man coming up.
Yeah,
like they just throw you in, and it's like we'll figure out her powers as we go, which we find out is the super strength.
And that's the only two. There's nothing really after that.
Well, that comes from the super strength because leg muscles make you jump, and then like she can run fast.
Yeah, like I remember there was one scene. It was like, so you can fly, and she's like, it's more like jumping really high than falling. I thought they were gonna go like the whole Toy Story thing, like falling with style.
That would have been great. But then season 2, I guess, will be the origin story where we dig in and find out exactly what happened to her. And
yeah, that's one thing they left open-ended was we don't know how exactly she got her powers.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming she got experimented on while she was in the coma. I'm guessing.
I guess because that company IGH paid for her medical bills.
Yeah, that was the same company that gave the pills, right?
Right.
Okay.
So we'll see what goes on there.
Yeah, that's one thing.
What else was I gonna say? Oh, the cop character I really liked, but they need to stop killing off the wise old black man in these Marvel shows.
Yeah,
because they did the same thing in Daredevil.
Yeah, but in Daredevil they killed off. He was a Spider-Man character.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not really. He is a Daredevil-ish character because he worked for Daily Planet. In the 80s, he finds out Daredevil's secret identity as Matt Murdock.
Daily Bugle.
Daily Bugle. What did I say? Daily Planet?
Yeah. Sorry. I had to correct you before the internet explodes.
So in the 80s, I think it was the 80s or whenever it was.
Okay,
he's the one that finds out.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I thought that could be part of the Daredevil back in the day. He finds out that Daredevil is Matt Murdock, and then like they're friends and stuff. So it's not like completely. Yeah, which was like a great character. That guy was pretty cool. Like he's just no nonsense. And then same thing with the cop, which I also like that scene where they walk out of she's handcuffed to the thing, and then she breaks loose, and then takes the chair and then folds it in half when she turns herself in towards the end.
Okay, yeah.
Because I mean, that scene is great because she just shows up with the guy's head in a bag.
Yeah, she does on the desk.
And then they walk out of the interrogation room because you see that the cop from Daredevil was there. He's the one that told her to go out. Like they're in the interrogation room.
I know that's the same station because someone pointed out that the same Stan Lee picture was in the background.
Yeah.
From Daredevil.
Well,
it's all Hell's Kitchen. So.
Exactly. So that's the guy. So that cop that was always helping Daredevil or Matt Murdock was the one that walks into the interrogation room, and he's like, Jessica Jones is free to go, captain's orders or whatever.
Okay, yeah. I don't remember that because Daredevil was back in April. So
yeah. And then they walk out and everybody's got a gun pointed to themselves or to somebody that they're talking to. Like, holy
that part
shit.
was crazy. But yeah. I definitely end up rewatching it eventually.
Yeah, it's it's very entertaining. Like I saw that shit over the weekend, and it was just nonstop. Especially like the second half of the season where everybody starts dying or like it gets fucking crazy.
Yeah, like we said last week, the first half there was a lot more sex in the show than I thought it was just gonna be like one episode where they just get it all out the way, but it was like Jesus, man. Like the
There
thing
was
I
a
was
scene and I didn't catch it till like the second time I saw the episodes that it's Trish and the cop guy having sex on her bed,
Mhm.
and like she's just full out topless there, and like the camera just like barely covers anything up. Like you
Oh
see,
yeah, I remember
like
that.
she's probably wearing like a pasties or something, but like I'm like Jesus Christ, Marvel, you guys are really cutting it close
Yeah,
there.
I remember that.
Like I didn't catch that the first time I saw it. Second time, like good lord, man, these guys
Hey,
pushing pushing that envelope.
they can't do it. Well, they can do it in the movies, but they'll probably lose. A lot of people probably won't watch it.
Well, that will probably go straight to rated R.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is rated R. Well,
Yeah.
Netflix standards.
Yeah, it's TVMA, I think it is.
Yeah. Mature audiences. But yeah, she was in the first Transformers movie. That's where I recognize her from.
Yeah, I saw her IMDb that she was in there, but I don't remember any of the Transformers movies.
And plus, she's Australian, so when she talks and I close my eyes, I just see Sarah Walker.
Yeah, but you mean the Transformers movie?
No, I'm talking about.
She had the American accent. Oh, okay.
You could hear it. You could hear the accent coming out sometimes when she talks, and I'm just like, yeah, I just see.
Yeah.
Chuck.
Her boyfriend Nuke, I forgot his real name now. He's also Australian.
Okay, I didn't really care for his character that much. So
Yeah.
I just thought the whole romance
his character
between
got
them was
very
weird.
annoying. His character got really annoying really quick. Like I always, ever since the beginning, he was always very shady and like I wouldn't trust him. He always seemed on edge and shit. I'm like, all right, dude.
Yeah.
And
I thought the pills he was taking was gonna tie into. I don't know if you remember the Incredible Hulk movie when the guy took the experiment, so he could took the experiment with and then he ended up turning into the monster.
I don't remember.
It was the super soldier serum, like the prototype or whatever, and they like injected it into his spine, and he tried to take on the Hulk, and he ended up turning into the Abomination.
Was that General Ross? I don't remember that movie.
No, it was
such a long time.
It was
It was the soldier guy.
Yeah, I thought that's what they were gonna tie that into. Like I thought it was probably like a modern version of it, of whatever they did back then. I guess it's just some conspiracy group.
I think the pills are also in the comics, but I'm not really sure because I don't know that whole part of the Marvel universe. Like I know nothing of Jessica Jones going in, besides of like her connection to Luke Cage and they have a baby and stuff.
Yeah, that's how I thought they were gonna end the show, with her like telling him that she's pregnant, and I thought that was gonna set up for season 2, but they didn't. So
I don't know if they would go into that so quickly.
I mean, that's pretty much the essence of her character. Well, nowadays is that I don't know if they're still married or not, but I know they have the baby. But then again, I don't know how the comic, because since it's based off it's Alias, right?
Alias.
It's based off the Alias comic. I don't know how that ends, so I'm guessing they're just going with that.
Well, that was based off of that. Like I don't know what season 2 will be based off. Probably its own thing.
Maybe season 2 they'll do the baby thing then. I'm guessing, and then they get married.
I guess I was reading online that season 2 probably won't happen until after
Defenders.
After Defenders because of scheduling issues and shit. So we won't get that for a while, I guess. Because Defenders is what's 2017 our schedule.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is, but I'm not sure. They'll get pushed back. But next year we should get Daredevil, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. They still haven't cast Iron Fist yet, right?
No. They haven't cast. No. Yeah, there was rumors that they were going to cancel it, and then there was rumors that they were doing just a movie, like not even a show, just a movie. So I don't know. I don't know what they're doing.
That sucks.
Yeah, and I found out that the character Carrie Ann Moss plays is
Yeah.
a guy in the comics,
Yeah, I
and
read
she
about
has
that.
ties with Iron Fist, so she might show up in that.
Okay. Yeah, that's another character that really started getting on my nerves.
I didn't really bother me. I didn't really pay too much attention.
Although that fight between her and her ex at the house,
When she was cutting her up, a
you know,
thousand cuts.
1,000 cuts, and then that lady just shows up and bashes her brain in.
Yeah,
Fucking brutal. I'm like,
she's in Sons of Anarchy, right?
of course.
She plays the lawyer.
Yep. And this time she plays a doctor. Should have stayed as a lawyer.
She dies as a doctor. She gets written out as a lawyer.
I'm trying to think what else was big on the thing. Like, I don't know why their first reaction since the very beginning was to wear headphones when dealing with them. Like, wouldn't that have? It's a virus, so I guess it will go up like your pores and shit. But like, if you just cover your nose and ears, wouldn't you be able to kind of get
if
close?
it goes in your pores, then you have to wear a full thing because you have pores all over your skin.
Yeah, but is it like how it works? Do they explain it as a
I don't know.
virus?
They said he releases a virus, but they didn't really say how exactly it works.
Because at the end, Trish shows up with the headphones and the hoodie on.
Yeah, maybe it's
But
something to do with your brain, like it has to make contact. I don't know. They didn't go that far. Another plot line that they didn't resolve was his dad was working on the cure, and like before, I guess it didn't work because he like
no,
sprayed himself with it, and
yeah, they spray himself as at the restaurant, and then he's like, Kilgrave is like, Dad, come here, and then he looks at Jessica and is like, I'm sorry, it didn't work, and then he walks over there.
okay, I don't remember that.
Yeah, and then afterwards, it just becomes this thing where he's working on making the power stronger. But his death was pretty brutal.
That neck twist, they're trying to be like Man of Steel.
He should have ripped his head off completely, just to guarantee.
Nah, he's dead. There's no way he survived that. I was reading on Kotaku, they had an article saying that he in the comics he has like a bunch of children that all have the same power as him.
Yeah, I read that story arc. It's in the Matt Markway Daredevil.
Okay, that's
like,
freaky.
Like he gets them all together. Like I think he kind of kidnaps all his kids, and then they all get together, and then they turn on him, and then they create like this hive mind between them, so they can talk to each other. I think telepathically. I could be wrong. I don't remember it, but all I know is that like together they just like they do something to him, like they trap him or they hurt him, and he's like fucked somewhere else, and then it's just them walking around the street doing whatever they want, and Daredevil has to get in on that. And then he teams up with Kilgrave to take on his own kids.
I thought that they were gonna actually make him purple when he injected the improved version, like to boost his power, because they showed like his veins turning purple. I was like, are they really gonna make him purple?
Wonder how that would have gone. Maybe I'm pretty sure that they probably tried it.
Yeah,
and they're like, nah. We'll leave it with the purple suit.
Wear the purple suits. They didn't even call him Purple Man in the. They just call him Kilgrave.
Because it's so much. It's so.
Comic book.
Yeah, it's so. It's more. More villainy than the Purple Man. The Purple Man, he's like Barney's friend. Somebody on Sesame Street or something.
Yeah, this show was pretty intense.
Yeah. I'd like to see where they go with it for next season. I guess like she'll have a lot more work.
Yeah, as a private investigator. I really like the parts where she was actually doing private investigator work. Those are my favorite scenes.
I like it when she's with Luke Cage and they're looking for the guy and they're in his apartment. And then she's like, let me tell you right here the bulk of private detective work. And then she just dumps the garbage container.
I don't remember that.
Their department, like after Luke Cage hires her to look for Antoine, I want to say.
Oh, and they're searching through the garbage.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
yeah.
she's like, this is the Private Eye's best friend or whatever she said. And she just dumps the garbage. And I'm like, that's the same thing as the IT guy that just turns off the computer and turns it back on.
That reminds me of the episode in Justice League where with the question and he's talking to Supergirl. And then she was like, I know he was telling her like, I know you had this for breakfast. And she's like, come on, you went through my trash? She's like, please, I go through everybody's trash. Man, we need a Netflix show of this guy. We need something with the question, like that version of the question. But anyways, that's different. But so the scene where it was like later on in the series where she's like on the laptop and like he comes out of the shower with just a towel on, and I'm just like, what's going on here? And he's just like standing there, like showing off his muscles. You don't remember that?
Wait, who shows up?
Like it was a scene where they're in I think this is after, because you remember Luke Cage doesn't show up for like the bulk of the middle of the series.
Right.
And then he shows up at the end. And then there is a scene where she's like at her desk on her laptop. And like he's like taking a shower. And then he comes out of the shower, but like just with a towel on. Oh. And it's like all awkward. He's like looking at, he's just like standing there like,
it's like,
and at the end, he's just like, I'm gonna put some clothes on. I was like, hey, you should have done that a long time ago.
It's like gratuitous shot. Like every Thor movie, Thor has to be shirtless for no reason. He's making a sandwich, just no shirt. Like, really? Not necessary?
Hey, I do that.
You don't have cameras on you.
Hey, you don't know that. Got paparazzi
You're always
at my door.
You reach for the peanut butter. Oh yeah, it's peanut butter right there.
It's like the lid's tight, and I'm just like, oh yeah, sure enough.
Yeah, the fight between Jessica Jones and Luke Cage was pretty sweet.
I remember it, but I don't remember what happened. I remember like a lot. There was a lot of like being thrown through walls.
Yeah, that was good. And then at the end,
I'm pretty sure ribs are broken.
At the end of it, she gets a shotgun, puts it right there.
Yeah.
Knocks him out.
Knocks him out.
And then we get Rosario Dawson showing back up. I think she was in this series more than she was in Daredevil.
She was only in one episode.
Of Daredevil?
No, of this.
Oh, she was in two episodes.
Nah, she was in multiple. She was only in the finale. She was in multiple episodes of Daredevil.
I think in Daredevil, she was also only 2 episodes. Like,
nah, she was in. She shows up in episode 2, and she's there for a while, and then she's probably like in 2 or 3 episodes after that.
Because I remember there was that one episode where like he gets the shit beat out of him, and then he wakes up, and when Foggy finds out the truth, and he's like, "Yeah, your nurse friend was here," but we don't see that because she couldn't be there.
Yeah, that was later on, but she's in multiple episodes of Daredevil. I remember. But in this, it's funny because in the Netflix description, it's like, they mention something about a cameo, and I'm just like, Daredevil? Not Daredevil.
At least they mentioned them, because I was wondering, like, is he going to show up, or will he at least be mentioned?
He was mentioned.
He got to mention, yeah.
And they released a trailer. It was like 5-second trailer of this was after the show already premiered, of like, they don't even show the face, they just show like a hand, and like they pick up the glass. I'm assuming it's Jessica because she's drinking. Pick up the glass, drink, and then you see the hand just reach for a card, and it says Nelson and Murdoch on it. It was like 5 seconds long.
Oh, I saw that. I just thought it was. I literally saw just that picture, and I thought it was a shot from like Daredevil. And they're like, "This happened," and I'm like, "Yeah, we saw that happen a lot in the series." I didn't realize it was in Jessica Jones.
Yeah, but I mean,
in the comics, I think
it would have been
her, the nurse. I think they had a thing in the comics, so I think she plays a bigger role in the Luke Cage show.
She's gonna be, yeah, because they casted her mom in Luke Cage.
Jesus.
So maybe they're dating in that.
Probably.
Or maybe, I don't know if it will be because it seems like they just met each other in this. So maybe, I don't know. It depends on how they do it.
I mean, he did meet Jessica Jones, and then the same night broke a bed. Or try to break a bed. I don't know if that was that episode.
I think it was like the episode after.
Yeah, the second time that they had some fun.
But I don't know. Maybe they date me because they kind of set it up that him and Jessica are together by the end of this. So I don't know.
Because we don't see them together afterwards, so we don't know what happened.
Yeah, that's true.
So like, she comes home and he's gone.
I'm just assuming that they're still together. I don't know.
Because I did get the impression that they were trying to hint that maybe the nurse and him get close, but not. I don't know if they would start dating or not because she knows that he cares for Jessica and Jessica likes him.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she.
Well, it's just one of those things we just gotta wait and see.
Yeah. When is Luke Cage supposed to come out? Some later next year, though, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll see.
If they're doing 2 series a year,
it's gonna get to the point where they're gonna be doing like 4 series a year. It'll be back to back to back to back to back.
But yeah. I was hoping that Daredevil would show up, but
yeah, at least in like the last thing, like he just shows up and
not as Daredevil, but as Matt Murdock, like because they always mention like someone's always mentioning like I want another lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure he's already established, unless Daredevil in this, no.
No, because the nurse mentions that he's
yeah. I was gonna say it takes place
at
the same time, but
he's got the office and stuff. I mean, I think it takes place like right afterwards.
Probably, yeah. Because the thing is, the Marvel stuff take place in real time, so real time.
It does take place. It takes place afterwards because in the scene where they go to the marijuana place where they're making they plant the weed and all that shit, that warehouse was the same warehouse that Wilson Fisk set on fire in the Daredevil. I had read. Yeah, there's no way in hell I was gonna possibly catch that, but like they mentioned and they show the pictures and stuff. I'm like, all right, so like the Daredevil thing happens, and then I think this happens like either right afterwards or probably like a month or so afterwards.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, the Marvel stuff takes place in real time, so maybe the Daredevil stuff is really what Daredevil came out April, so May, June, July, August, September, October. So maybe it was 7 months before.
Could be. But I feel at that point we would have more talk of Daredevil.
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know.
Yeah, like we won't really know until like the next seasons of both of these shows come out.
Again, by the end of in Daredevil, he was kind of like
he was already a thing in the newspapers.
Okay, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Whatever. But I look forward to the next season whenever that happens. And I really liked it. And I will probably end up watching it again sometime next year. Probably before like the Luke Cage stuff comes out.
Yeah,
I'm sure she'll have some. She'll show up in that.
See what happens. Hopefully, not another black character gets killed, but we'll see. We've come so far. What was it? What was it that I texted you?
We made it.
I had texted you about something, and I was like,
it was the Captain America 3 with the 3 black superheroes.
Oh yeah. There you go. Yeah. You got Falcon, you got Black Panther, and we got
War Machine.
Whose name? Rhodey. There you go.
Rhodey Jones.
No.
I don't think his last name is Jones.
No, it's not.
Rhodey Rhodes.
I can't. I'm blanking on his last name.
I'm just gonna say Rhodey Jones.
I'm blanking on it.
Find out right now. War Machine.
That's
an MMA fighter. Marvel. I can't believe I actually have to specify Marvel.
Hey, nowadays.
James Rhodes.
There you go. But yeah. I don't know. Do you want to see these things tie into the movies, or you just want to be separate?
I don't think they would. They're just gonna keep mentioning. They're on completely different levels. Like the movies are all about like whole world scenarios, and this is just like gang violence. Yeah.
I mean, eventually, what I see happening is maybe when Infinity War, like around that time, if they still have like Netflix shows going, maybe they'll have something that ties into the movies, kind of like what they do with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like they have the after, like this is happening in the movies, but this is what's happening on street level. Like all this shit is happening. So Because
But
all this
even
stuff is
then-
taking place after. If you think about it, it's taking place. It would be taking place after of the first. It's for sure taking place after the first Avengers movie.
Yeah, I don't think second Avengers movie has happened yet in the timeline of the Daredevil and Jessica Jones.
Yeah, because Daredevil came out before Avengers 2 came out. So
But even
yeah,
Agents of
I think
Shield
the
is
Daredevil stuff is I think the Daredevil stuff is before Avengers 2. Has to be. But then again, Avengers 2 wasn't really, I don't know.
I mean, it's a world thing. So, but yeah, since it didn't happen in New York, like
Because New York didn't get destroyed or anything like that. So the
Exactly.
first one it did, but that's why they reference it. But
any final words?
looking forward to the rest. See what happens in the Marvel. Are these supposed to be coming out on Blu-ray or is it just going to be on Netflix?
I
The Netflix stuff comes out on Blu-ray?
don't know. I think so because I think House of Cards has Blu-rays. I think so. I want to say possibly. I can't say for sure.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that then. I'm definitely will get it if it comes out.
The Blu-ray would make sense because then you'll have like behind-the-scenes shit, deleted scenes, and all that stuff.
Yeah. I'm ready for my Daredevil cosplay. I already got my knuckles messed up. I'm legit.
You're keeping it messed up for any conventions that may show up.
No, my this is as much as gonna heal. Like when I get cuts, like it just heals like this, and then well, you can't really see it, but like it heals like this, and then you see the markings.
That's how it stays.
Yeah. So I can literally like get beat up and just walk around with no shirt on and get respected. I look like Oliver Queen.
In prison.
I was 5 years on an island. Spent 5 years on an island. Came back with only one goal in mind: to watch the Marvel movies. That's my one goal. But yeah, so any final things you want to say about this?
No, it's
Someone's
all
dying
good.
in the background of your house.
We're all dying over here. Yeah, I'd say definitely a watch. Get ready for some
2 thumbs up.
very adult situations and themes, but definitely worth it.
Yep. All right, then. So that's it for episode 1 of whatever we decide to finally call this thing.
What?
What? Any final words, sir?
Don't stick a fork into electric outlet.